Right, welcome to what I like to think of as a kind of max power Max-A-Nory, where this issue here, I figured, well, it's one close to my heart a little bit because every car in this issue, me and Fly shot on one big road trip around the UK, which was kind of cool. And I just figured with all the interest in Max Power, Max Power history, Max Power memories, you know, lots of Facebook groups starting, I figured maybe I'll just walk you through an issue, page by page, bit of commentary on it, just so you can all have a taste of what it was all about. So this is February 2006 issue. I guess it's quite a late one from our time there, but there's some pretty cool stuff in there. So if you're sitting comfortably, I will begin. Right, so here we go. This is February 2006 issue of Max Power. This was towards the end of the time that me and Dan were there, and we had two cars on the cover, which was unusual. Didn't do that very often. But anyway, so let's have a look through. First page, hair stuff, and then this looks like a Gumball 3000 rally, which I think Dan went on, and if you listen to his stories, you'll tell him, he'll tell you that, who was it, Victoria Silverstedt or some model like that was gagging for it. She didn't get it though, so. Unusual shot for Max Power to put in. This was a tribute to Richard Burns, because I think that was around the time that Richard Burns died. And actually, Richard Burns was a bit of a Max Power, well, not legend, but he was in the first ever issue of Max Power as a young, promising talent. And then I interviewed him a few years on, and he was a very lovely chap. Yeah, so that was a really sad time. And then this is one of the cars that feature in the issue. Quite a lovely shot of Jerry from up Glasgow way in his turbocharged Civic. Very moody. Oh, don't know who she is, but she's pretty hot. And then we finally get to what the magazine is actually all about. So you can see this this tempting feast of cars. Some nice ones in this issue, and then some pretty rubbish film with Paul Walker in. God blimey. Another person that's left us, sad times. More stuff about what was in this issue, and some drink that's probably not around anymore. Wolf Race wheels, there we go. Using a bird, nice. And what we did this month, this was always a fun bit in the office down here when we had to figure out our 3 things that we did this month. What did I put? New engine, Soul Calibur 3 and savings. Guess that was about the time that I forked out a couple of grand for the innards of a modified Corrado from my Golf. And then looks like that's from when me and Neil Hunt went to Essen, which was pretty cool. Very snowy, and they had some real hardcore porn on just normal TV in the hotel. It was awesome. Dude from, what's that, Pimp My Ride or something? And then some chicks. Oh look, surprise, surprise, stands with some half-naked girls again. Good work. John Sutherin, the editor. Who else was in the magazine at the time? Who's this? John Sutherin. Legend. Ben Barry. Lovely chap. Went on to work at Car. Me. And then Simon Penson. Dan Henslow, don't know who he is. George. Also known as Dan Sherwood, who works on Japanese mags now. Neil Hunt. He was doing all their technical stuff at the time and now runs a paint shop. There's this news writer, Mark Riccioni. You might know him as Mark Scene Media. He's got a big following on Instagram with his photography, which is pretty awesome nowadays. What was his 3 things that got him through the month? Skylines, Agony Aunt and binge drinking. Well, from what I've seen about his Skylines, they're probably not helping him get through the month. They're probably just helping him to not afford any food through the month. On a side note, congratulations to Ricky because he's a recent father. And then in designers, Mark Guest, who went on to edit it bizarrely, like having a designer editor mag is a bit strange. Jonathan Cole, JC, top lad, he designed our Max's logo for us. Nick Thackers, another top lad. And then Ben, Jack Ashby, who wasn't with us that long, I don't think. And Michelle Thorne, Princess, legend. So, what are we talking about? The first section of the mag was always about news, talking about rocket fuel, Tesco doing 99 RON, good stuff, still use it myself. There's John Southern and his 200 with the Max Driver Civic in the background. No doubt shot at the Peterborough Tesco's. Virtual car gallery, this is where everyone sent in their virtual cars. Look at that, lowered bread van. Not that spectacular, but that was pretty impressive. Some GTR prototype. That's not bad either. Very cool. Martin, don't know, never saw that film. Hammond versus Clarkson, bloke test. Who's the winner? Clarkson, obviously. I interviewed him as well for Max Power in a previous issue, and he was, well, I liked him. It was a good chat. Free night out from Max's. What's this? Free curry. So, looks like Peterborough Curry House. There's John Souther, and I believe that's the night that I ran back to his house to try and get him back out because he had a famous habit of saying he was going to the toilet and then disappearing because he couldn't handle any more beer. Must have given away some free stickers with this issue. Obviously don't use them to change your number plate, that would be bad. Just buy it. This is a top, like the crap that people used to send us in. Some of it was alright. Not much of it. Yeah. Natasha, nice. More Pimp My Ride. Oh no, West Coast Custom. Did they do Pimp My Ride? I can't remember. That's pretty cool. The Need for Speed M3. Westwood. Love him or hate him. The big dog. Or whatever. Who's he with there? I think he's famous. I recognise him. Jay-Z. That's the one. And then a bit of a salute to Richard Burns again. Top left. Maxing more news. Look at that. Poor M3. Some birds chucked a load of red paint in it. Slag. Dukes of Hazzard film. Oh, that's if you've not seen that, I mean it's really old now, but it's worth it just for Daisy Duke. And there's drifting. In fact, the drifting in that, I believe, when they're doing it round the roundabout, I think that's like Tanner Faust or someone driving that, because I also interviewed him around Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift, and I think he did some of the driving in that. Maxing to be banned in Ireland. Well, probably sort of have, haven't they? Flash and grab. Who's this? Simone. Wonder if she gets her boobs out. Yes, she does. Of course she does. I always did. BK Racing. Look at that. You can buy your wheels online. Who'd have thought? Amazing. And here's the first cover car, or the first car feature. So, obviously this was all part of the road trip where me and Fly shot every car in this issue on a road trip. First stop Kent. Now this one's a weird one, right? Because I was thinking about this and it's like, that Hyundai Coupe is pretty cool, right? But I don't think I ever saw it again after this, and I'd not really seen it much beforehand, whereas that car, Andy Smith's Almera, was like at every show, every event ever. It was amazing. Big into the scene, and look, more gold plating engine. Malarkey, great install, had the little mini moto in the boot as well, which you can just about see in that picture. Yeah, but this one, yeah, I'm sure I didn't see it again. Cool car though, like that paint job. And there they are together. I mean, if you don't know Andy Smith and his Almera, then him and the, was it the Medway Massive? They were all top lads. Many a fun time I had with them. just don't get near them at the after party at Max Life because carnage would ensue. Some advert for Gap, Gap security. Bit strange, I'm sure that bird used to work in our office. And then second feature, this was in London. So when I say we did all these cars on a road trip, I'm sort of lying because I think the cover cars we shot separately, and then the day after we drove down and did this car in London. This was Rob Mason's Saxo, which was pretty cool. But it was after these two shoots, that's when we went off and did the proper road trip. Big notcher spot in the back, very nice. Purge valves, they were a thing, weren't they? Yeah, nice car. Who's this? Performance Direct. They're still going, still a good insurance company. Ready or Not. Now this is Craig Mudd's Subaru. It was pretty cool seeing a red one because most of them seem to be blue. Had a PC in it, monitor in the back. Really clean car, lovely chap. I believe he's currently still messing around with cars and has got some very nice common gear that he's modified and restored. Kind of different to this, but yeah, I'd still drive that now, no problem. And then that was, where were we there? That was up kind of Grimsby direction or somewhere, I think. Yeah, Scunthorpe, there we go. And then we drove up to Aberdeen, and like that was the first time I've been to Aberdeen. It's really grey up there, like the buildings are really grey. And this car just stood out so awesomely. Like, I love this Skyline, it's brilliant. It's only a GTS only, but check out the numbers though. 600 horsepower, 11 second quarter mile. Awesome paint, nice styling. Top owner, Doug. I think he follows us on Instagram, so how you doing? Yeah, that's a beautiful car. It's all about www.streetrace.co.uk. Probably isn't anymore, but who knows? Okay. Like the famous one-eyed Jap Skyline from M's factory back in the day. Beautiful. Aberdeen was strange as well because the hotel we stayed in, I think it was a converted old department store. And it was a Tuesday night, I think. And the town was absolutely heaving with drunkards. Still. Maybe that's a Scotland thing. And look, wheelbase. How many pages do they have? 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 pages. That's awesome. Wheelbase still going strong. In fact, I bought some wheels off them not that long ago. Phone things. I never got involved in any of that, but it seemed to be popular. Max Power Uncut, don't know what that is. Maybe we were trying to do something with that website. Know what this is though? Max Power Live. Max Power Live 2006. If you can remember it, you weren't there, man. Lark Speed, they're still going strong. Good to see. And then, yeah, another Scottish car. We went down to Glasgow and shot Jerry's Civic Turbo, which was like really cool, JDM looking thing. And the cool thing about this feature, apart from the car, and the fact we did it at night time, is down here, Graham Steed, the founder of Max Power, him and Fly were basically the two people that were putting together the first ever issue, and he moved up to Scotland, so we met up with him at some KFC or McDonald's, and yeah, it's the first time I'd actually met him. And then, look, I believe there was some sort of manic cruise kicked off after that shoot, which was a shame because we had to hightail it to get to the next place. From what Jerry told me recently, is it went off a bit that night, which is cool. Shame we couldn't hang around. STX styling, top gear. Don't know if either of those are still going, but comment below if you are. Gap security. And a feature about basically showing how fickle us men are. would we help these two chicks in their broken down Lamborghini, or would we help Johnny Smith? Lots of help for the chicks, obviously. Warrior Motorsport, they built this Jag, was that, I can't remember if that was the one for the streets or not, but kind of weird. Then new car stuff with Ben Barry. This was when Ben was probably hoping to move on to car and do new car stuff. So he was taking the reins with all this malarkey. Talking about the new Civic, which isn't the same as the one we get over here. There's Dan lording it up somewhere. Look at that. Nismo S tune, 350Z. Apparently he'd sell his family to own a Nismo S tune. Might give him a call and see if that's still true. Look at that on the list. It came second highest in our ratings. So if you can't read that, 350Z was the top, then the S-Tune 350Z, then the Impreza WRX STI, Evo FQ340, Evo 8260, then Civic Type R Clio Trophy, Vauxhall Astra VXR. Not BMW or Ford in sight, ridiculous. Nice looking car that. Demon Tweaks, the legendary, still going strong obviously. I don't know who these are. Oh, I know who Pioneer are. This is the Max Top 100. Like, I mean, this was going for years in a magazine, and even before I worked there, I'd pour through the stats and the little reviews, trying to figure out what my next car should be to purchase. I think it had gone from this one, but I remember the Fiesta XR2 was something like averagely quick biscuit tin, which I thought was unfair, and then I bought one, and then I realised it probably was fair. Lots of cars. Someone talking about the R32 Mark IV. Oh, look at this, Online Autosport, which is interesting because I've recently contacted them through eBay because they are still the Riga suppliers for the UK, and my M3 might need a little bit of Riga love. Speed Shop. Now, this isn't as much fun as some of the older ones where you've got RS turbos for like £1,500, but I reckon there's a few bargains in here. What do you reckon? Supra for 10.5. Supra down here is claiming 698 horsepower for 11 grand. If only I'd known. Pretty cool Vectra. RX-7 for £7,990 with a £3 grand engine rebuild. Nice. More fun cars. Modified Saxo show car, 6,300. Can't even find Saxos for sale nowadays. Civic Type R for 10.5 grand. They've got cheaper. Extreme Motorsport. Well, they're not around anymore. Escort van. Nice. 3,850. I kind of think that's expensive, but then I've looked recently and good ones are going for silly money. Clio 16 valve for £1,700. Bargain. Kiss Awards. How much is Renault 5 GT Turbo? £1,500. If only we'd known. Essex Racing, they're not around anymore. Does anyone have one of these? Looks like a unscrupulous money grab to me. Fox Racing, they're part of Helpers now, I think. Van tyres from Yokohama, nice. And then, oh, this was the section Max Power Hardcore where we were doing in-depth stuff about tuning and the basics. So, whole big thing about brakes there with AP Racing's help. Good bit about suspension here. Talking about different types and geometry setups and toe angles, camber angles. All good. Transmissions. Still scare me now. Maybe I should read that. Kenwood. Guess they're still going. Artec, another legendary company. Wasn't made for old people though, because look how small the print is. I can hardly read any of that. What's the new wheel? The Eclipse. Nice. Max Garage. Apparently, according to research, this was one of the most popular sections of the magazine every month. Don't know how true that is. John's 200SX. Looks like that's probably just back from everything being done to it. Look at that, he's using Standox paint again. I think his 205 was painted in Standox, that kind of flippy black colour. What cars did people have? Thacker's had a Clio, I had my Series 1 RS Turbo and my Mark II Golf, which didn't get seen much, but Strictly Dubs put a 20 valve turbo and it was a handful. Ben's E36 M3 that he drifted to death. Guesty had that McGann Coupe, the wide arch thing, and Corsa SRI, which I don't really remember. Ricky's Civic, that ended up looking really nice. Neil's VR6, that was a good one as well. And Dan, his S13, which was probably about to get sold, and his S14 in yellow. But apparently it says S14 nearly finished. So, big reveal coming next month maybe. Dan Sherwood's MR2, and he had a Civic as well. And JC, he had the crazy stuff, the big Diablo looking cat and the flip painted Punto and Princess's little Beetle. There it is. I think she was doing some sort of racing stuff there, girl racing. Don't know what it was, sounded sexist to me. With these, exhaust.com. I'm sure that probably doesn't work. And it is not really much to say about this. Oh, Project Impossible, that's the 206SW that it costed for us, and it was awesome. Wire wheels and everything. My Golf in pieces. And then looks like Ben on a trip to Ireland, diddly, doing some drifting or diffing. Recognise that guy. He looks young. Garage D's Julian. Advert, Ultimate Velocity. Not sure if they're still going. Leicester guys. They built a few interesting courses. BBC brakes. Classic brake pad. And then fresh stuff. Motorsport wheels launch bargain new RS and Fox rims. Bargain. Well, that's pretty nice from Speed Culture. Carbon boot. Lambo doors from Mark IV Astra. What more could you do? Look at these. They never took off, did they? Motorised canards. So that you don't get in trouble with the police. You can just suck them in at the press of a button. Pretty cool idea. Whether they actually work or not. More fresh stuff. Ice. Lots of stuff. Don't think anyone, well, I don't know, it doesn't seem as big anymore, does it? But I think everyone likes a high quality audio system, so I think the good guys are still going. Kick a Hummer, that was noisy. New Image Car Hi-Fi, not sure if they're still about. 3-page ad though. Car Audio Security, they're still around, doing well, which is good to see. A lot of air ride stuff as well. Boom, look at all those rooftop monitors. Well, they had a few pages. Big sub boxes. And then back to cars. So we always put the ICE car in amongst the ICE adverts. This was Audio Advices Renault 19 shot over in Belfast. Thing was mental, awesome airbrushing, and the inside was phenomenal. I mean, look at it. One of the interesting things was once you're inside and the doors were shut, there's no way out. You need someone on the outside to help you, which I found out when I sat inside. Incredible build though. Look at it. Wonder if that's still around. Car Audio Centre, Car Electronics Limited. Not sure what they do anymore. I think they might just supply to trade. Then a Peugeot 106, which bizarrely we shot this in Dublin, but I think I must have been suffering from sleep deprivation or something because I barely remember shooting this one. That's a nice looking car. Clean, simple, classy boot build. Ice Direct Open Day. They were based in Peterborough, had a few open days and they were good fun. BaseJunkies.com. Max Power recommends. Don't remember that bit. And then insurance. Well, so many insurance companies advertising because they knew it's a struggle for us boys when we were young and stupid. But Performance Direct, always a good one. Adrian Flux, they used to help us out a lot. Always did cover. All these other guys, don't know how many of them are still going. MTE, DNA, Nice Ass. Looks a bit unhappy, doesn't it? Admiral, they're still going. Elephant, blah blah blah. And Max Boys and Hood. Interestingly, I don't think this was comprehensive because Essex only had Imageworks. And I'm sure there's more than that. Well, and Raceland, but Imageworks. Sticky Mac, if you need any vinyl, is a man. Still. Loads more other adverts for tints and stuff. I'm sure lots of you probably spent a bit of time staring at these. Probably spent more time staring at these. Trying to see if there's any booby on show. There shouldn't be, because by advertising standards, you're not allowed to show any tits in these. And there was one guy's job at Max Power on the ad team whose job it was to make sure no tits got through in these adverts. And unfortunately, one time they did, and he lost his job. Man, did anyone ever phone one of these? And then back to cars. This was probably the last stop in Cardiff, this Astra with nitrous. Is it nitrous or CO? Oh, it says CO2. The only thing I really remember from this shoot was it being cold. But being pretty lucky because Volkswagen lent us a Volkswagen Touran to do the tripping. It was pretty cosy inside. Nice car though. A CO2 purge kit. I can't even remember why CO2 would be a thing. Write off, this was always fun. I mean, these letters were genuine. Like, we used to get a lot of people writing into us, and especially in the old days when it was coming through the post, and we used to get so many from Young Offenders Institutes. Mental. Good, the bad and the ugly. What do you reckon? Yes or no, 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 yes or no? I'm going to go yes, no. Oh, I can't really tell. I mean, someone will probably comment on this video. Probably all got 3 kids and about 50 now. Max Babe, turning cruise girls and readers' birds into Max Power stunners. Where is she now, Nikki? Where are you? And then the last pages, this was, I think Dan might have gone and done this. Guys in the Midlands that were the Drift Mids team that all painted their 200s the same colour and were into a bit of street drifting. FHM, no longer with us. Yeah, cool stuff. Fortunately, I still had a few dirty birds, which was fun. This was when cruising was dying a little bit, so I don't think we were always putting cruises in the magazine, which kind of was sad times. And there you go, classic. I'm pretty sure that was the back cover for every issue in about 5 years. Not exactly the same advert, but Clifford Alarms. So, probably about as famous as the front. Anyway, that's me boring you all senseless with a look through Max Power. February 2006 edition. Let me know if you want me to do another one. You probably don't. I've done it now, so enjoy.